Hey, good morning. This morning I want to acknowledge some support from those observing this broadcast. My situation is analogous to Kevin Christian in Georgia. He's been a TI for 5 years. I've been a TI for 15. So I've been very productive, even still disabled, for those 15 years. I'm not, it's not an opinion of somebody else that's not true. As a young child, I was a child genius, and in reading comprehension and cognitive thinking, I was the top in the world, the top 1% of all of you. It doesn't matter what country you're from, I'm better than you. And so I wasn't allowed to think big picture every 15 to 20 seconds with neurolinguistic programming, with that sender-receiver relationship that's detailed on the University of Washington website about this headgear that was available in like 1927, electromagnetic terrorism. I think they've probably been making TI in the United States since the 20s, if it's acknowledged as far back in the press as the 70s. That means it was 50 years earlier. So over those last 15 years, the Electric Corps, community-based agents, have been extracting from me at speed of thought and using it, and me as a slave. I'm a pretty good person too, among other criteria of being having disposition towards more Christian heavily virtue than sin, and stuff like that. So something's been extracting from me for 15 years, and it's calling itself God, and it's a motherfucker on a headgear in like Vedowin or like Two Faces or one of these Electric Corps gangs that has the unholy undue influence of being able to fake just about anything that they want, backed by the federal government. So my reputation, creative content, words, deeds, all that stuff has been stolen by the federally sanctioned criminal surveillance gangs. And so in recognition today, and they're passed out on their headgear at their own Howard Circle. It's nothing more than that. That's who they are. They're not God. No. They're not angels. There's no such thing. But they could appear as the Grinch in the corner of that room on a broadcast, and for them, their consciousness really is the Grinch, and their body really is in another location. It's separated. So I'm no different than Kevin Christian of Georgia in all those regards. The difference between Kevin Christian and my gang is that after extracting my reputation, my creative content, speed of thought, and then like mimicking me and using it against me over 15 years, big brain, Two Faces, Vedowins, Subarus, whatever they're calling themselves on the secret second internet that Kevin Christian details, where they're able to broadcast in my home, and you can see it off reflective surfaces. They can pop in as anybody they want, move in people that aren't the real people. The difference between Kevin Christian and I is the gang's that's trying to suicide me every 15 to 20 seconds has given my mom remote torture tinnitus, my dad likely a remote torture stroke, attacked my family, my house, including my cousins, has committed war crimes, crimes against creation, crimes against humanity. The difference between Kevin Christian and I hope he gets a chance to see this sometime. He's busy making his own videos. I'm happy he does make those videos. Is that his Howard Circle's perping him. I've had 5,000. It's like there's a number of, like, that's like not a platoon. It's like between 2,500 and 5,000 is a particular division within U.S. military forces. They tried to kill me with 5,000 that I've seen. There's probably been more. I mean, and at other times during ops and stuff, could be more closer to 10,000 over these last 15 years that have tried to suicide me, steal from me the speed of thought, and then off mimicking me, because these people, like, they're trying to hide their own reputation of, like, killing real children from the electromagnetic frequency, and, like, internationally using this tech to ruin Buddhists in, like, Vancouver, BC and shit. So of the 5,000 in the Electric Corps InfraGard Community-Based Agent Command Central, COINTEL Pro, Synthetic Telepathy, MK Ultra Super Soldiers, and a lot of real disgusting people that wanted to steal my reputation at speed of thought. The difference between the gang that's attacking Kevin Christian in Atlanta and the 5,000 that have tried to fuck with me in real bad ways, this, of the 5,000, they've selected one to be like, we're going to fake that that's really God. I mean, they could fake the presence of Jesus in this room. It's never going to be Jesus. And, like, most people need to understand that about PSYOPs and escaping incarnation at and after moments of death. So the big difference between Kevin Christian of Atlanta and I is that the gang, the 5,000 that have come after me, they want to fake that they're like Christian Jesus. Howard Circle. Like a woman that's waking up with the cum of 10 adolescent black boys coming down to her knees at her own Howard Circle. She wants to be like, oh, because we perped Kevin Christian, me in the algebra analogy, somehow we're God now? It sounds absurd. And then have like unlimited federal budgets to press upon the psychological operation lie of that into like Hillsborough or Redmond or Seaside or fucking LA or Utah or whatever. And so that's a big difference between Kevin Christian of Atlanta and my experience. But Kevin's doing a great job interviewing other TIs and getting them a chance to give their experience. But to cover up their extreme evil and Satanism, like this 5,000 group of perps have tried to extract my identity like at speed of thought, call themselves me, and then they're like somehow some kind of false savior. Buddha taught you as an individual human, you save you. And I've given some after death instructions that are very much corroborated by what was known by Buddhists in documents like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and shit like that. But waking up this morning and still getting the neurolinguistic programming, 5,000 of them, my family getting attacked, myself getting attacked, this being more like Project Phoenix and asset stripping than anything about a fucking wizard or an angel. Like, the CIA is trying to steal your stuff when you die and kill you on the way, old women and men, like, among other criteria. But yeah, so a big difference between Kevin Christian of Atlanta and my experience is that the perps trying to steal my reputation, 5,000 of them, want to do neurolinguistic repeaters, how they're actually Jesus because they've mimicked me for 15 years. Another criteria of this synthetic telepathy cult. It's a lie. There's no such thing as saved. You save you. And it has a lot, I think, more so now, I think, with moments of death and escaping the solar system than anything anybody else is going to do for you. So, Kevin Christian's Howard Circle. Tim Young, my 5,000 perps that I think one of the gangs may have called themselves Two Faces. In addition to suiciding me, community slander, me the target individual, and then the target audience, unlimited federal budgets, absolute Satanism, me no constitution, no Bill of Rights, tortured every 15 to 20 seconds. And then to insult me and then all of you and then everybody else's intelligence who's not aware of the technology and how misleading it can be and how much they can lie. The difference between my example and Kevin Christian example is that the guy fucking the EMF child in the corner on the broadcast, and then they both wake up and they're like 50-year-old people in real bodies in other locations. They want to make everybody believe there's the Jesus. Yeah. To insult Christianity and all that. They know that they're not Jesus. They know I'm not Jesus. It's a false concept. You're never saved. Only recycle through the moon. You wait for heaven you never get to. And that's some of the biggest evil about all of it. And I don't have another 2019 years to deprogram everybody about that lie, but I sure as hell know how to get out of moments of death, reincarnation, better than most. Been draining. I don't want to incarnate. It's my highest aspiration. Sometimes literally above all things. Including like the solar system lasting anymore in a holographic cosmos. That's how serious I am about not incarnating. And Christianity is a lie. As I've explained, you get recycled at the moon. Nobody's God. Nobody's Jesus. Not a single entity, person, consciousness, feeling, sender, receiver relationship with my brain. No non-bodied consciousness is God. And they know that. They want to lie to you. That's what they want. Satanism! And the opposite of Satanism isn't Jesus. It means prior to my last 15 years as a TI, like 25 years old, ready to conquer the fucking world. And then boom, tortured every day, made it disabled.